what this does is that it gives fighters like because everybody know Tank got power.
Yeah.
Now they're like, okay, I want to fight him. Shakur's like, okay, let's make this fight happen.
He's the guy that everybody been talking about for a long time. So
he has
I can't wait.
Knockout power. It's gonna be his power versus your skill.
I will move up for certain guys. Like, I'm not fighting guys that are just super bigger than me.
So aggressive, and he's vulnerable enough to counters that it's actually exciting. Tank got that Tyson-esque fast twitchies and the power. You believe there's a chance the other guy can win. And that makes it even more exciting, to say nothing of the pace he sets, the level of action, the level of bombs that are thrown by Tank.
Two of boxing's biggest names. One fight the entire sport has been demanding. Fans have been waiting, debating, and calling for this matchup. Yet somehow, the showdown still hasn't happened. And according to Shannon Sharpe, there's a real reason why these two stars have yet to finally meet inside the ring. And it may not be the reason most fans think.
I will say this though. I wanted that fight just because of the names, but the truth is, I don't think Tank has a shot against Shakur.
That's the thing. Once upon a time, especially since
he always was like that when it came to Tank.
And when Shakur now fought at 140, he looks like too big, too much for him.
But I will say, I think a fight with Tank versus Shakur is closer now to reality than ever before.
Right.
Everyone's on the same side of the street. You got PBC fights on the zone.
That paper there.
That $30 million never came through for Tank. You brought it up.
$30 million.
Shakur's worth more money now.
Max Kellerman has consistently pointed out the difference between simply holding a championship belt and actually defeating the best fighter in a division. In his view, Tank has never fully proven that he is the unquestioned king of an entire weight class. For Kellerman, having a title isn't enough. True dominance comes from beating the very best competition and leaving no doubt about who stands at the top.
When I say he's held belts but he's never been a champion, is that those belts you consider legitimate championships, and I do not, for good reason. Which I won't get into here, but you can, we'll do it another time. He's never beaten the man in the division, Tank. He's never proven that he's actually the boss of the division, the champion of the division, except economically, because he has a big following, right?
He does.
But you'd never look at a single division and say, Tank Davis is the champion of that division. He's been the champion of a sanctioning body, which is not nothing, but it means that you've done something. You're probably a top 10 fighter in that weight class, probably, usually, almost always. But doesn't mean you've been the champ. At a certain point, it would be a shame if a dude as talented as Tank never even tests himself to see if he could actually be the champ.
Offering a different perspective on that same doubt, Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's former trainer, has closely watched Shakur Stevenson develop throughout his career. Ford argues that Shakur still hasn't faced the kind of elite opponent capable of truly testing his abilities and revealing just how high his ceiling really is.
To me, Shakur was always better, you know what I'm saying? But again, there's nobody that he's been in front of that really put him through that yet.
Testing me.
Right, so, when I look at certain fights, it's not a threat. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur is Shakur. He's always been Shakur since he was a kid, But again, I haven't seen anything that make me go, oh my God.
Firing back at that exact suggestion, Shakur Stevenson, who has repeatedly been linked with some of the biggest names of his generation, including Gervonta Davis, has openly criticized Tank's behavior while making his position clear. According to Shakur, if there's a real issue between them, there's only one place where it should be settled:
you think it's gonna go to
the boxing ring.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause the way that he move is goofy to me. Like, it's some weird shit. So I really don't like speaking on him. But if same thing that I said.
Fighting perspective.
Same thing that I said with T.O. If anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got. Yeah. I stand by that with anybody.
Doubling down on that same challenge, Shakur, who has built his reputation by calling for top-level competition rather than backing away from dangerous opponents, makes his position crystal clear. He insists that anyone who has a genuine problem with him should stop talking and step forward. If the issue is real, Shakur wants the fight made official and settled where it belongs, in the ring.
Now I got you, but like I said, if any fighter have an issue with me, because I feel like T.O. was jealous of me. I told him this several times. Any fighter have any issue with me,
let's do it.
Sign the contract, turn the lights on bright, let millions come around the seats to see what's happening, and pull up on me.
Shifting the conversation toward why this fight continues to get delayed, Shotty McCoy explains that Shakur Stevenson remains one of the serious alternatives being considered. That possibility only complicates the matchmaking picture surrounding Tank and the biggest names in the division. What should be a straightforward blockbuster matchup instead becomes another obstacle, creating more uncertainty and another roadblock standing between the fighters and the fight fans have been demanding.
Gervonta Davis is not going to be ready until Q1 of 2027 for any fight. So Gervonta Davis is not going to fight in 2026. It sounds like Bill's still very highly interested in that fight for next year. In the meantime, he said Devin has to fight, obviously. Hasn't had a fight yet in 2026. They're still looking at Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. They prefer the Shakur fight, but if not, they will pursue that Keyshawn Davis title defense.
Breaking down the stylistic problem Shakur actually poses, Terrence Crawford, who has repeatedly evaluated elite fighters from the perspective of someone who has competed at the highest level, insists that Shakur presents a completely different challenge for Tank. That contrast could neutralize the weapons Davis normally relies on. Crawford points out that fighters who thrive on aggression often struggle most against someone built to avoid exactly that kind of engagement.
I respect Tank. Like, boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur's a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done so it's not marketable. But he can't do that because Shakur is what, a 3-weight world champion.
Turning that same analysis back onto Tank's dangerous unpredictability, Crawford, who has watched Gervonta Davis repeatedly turn dangerous moments into opportunities with his timing and power, warns that Tank can look vulnerable before suddenly flipping the entire fight. Giving Davis repeated chances could eventually become the biggest mistake an opponent makes.
Tank get hits a lot. Tank, in my eyes, Tank is always losing until he's not.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
If you watch those fights,
well, at least in the early rounds. Middle rounds, he start coming up, but I see what you're saying. Them early rounds, yeah.
Let Keyshawn start hitting them like everybody else hitting them. Let him start hitting them with everybody else, like everybody else hitting them.
Yeah.
Man, he gonna clean them.
Returning to the tactical picture with a sharper technical read, Calvin insists that the absence of major punching danger could change how the fight unfolds, framing this less as a technical chess match and more as a question of who can take the bigger risks once the opening appears.
It's hard to say, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't even say that because Devin Price says no threat. It's no threat. It's not like he's going against a puncher. You know what I'm saying? So Devin might take a chance. So it's based on, like I said, it's going to be a good boxing match. Who throw the best shots that night? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nobody get knocked out that night. You know what I'm saying? But again, we have to wait and see.
Bringing decades of elite experience to the movement question, Roy Jones Jr., who has spent his career mastering distance, movement, and timing against elite opposition, insists that Tank would have to take major risks to overcome Shakur's movement. A cautious approach could allow Stevenson to control the fight from range, turning this into a battle against a style specifically designed to frustrate him.
As far as I'm concerned, it's like, I think Tank will have to give up a lot to beat Shakur because Shakur gonna keep them feet on him. And you gotta gamble against them feet. You can't just go down and box and think you're gonna beat him. As Teofimo found out, you gotta gamble with them feet because you don't gamble with them feet, he's gonna beat you all night. He's comfortable being on that back leg and being smart about it. He's comfortable with tattoo you all night long. He ain't gotta knock you out.
That leaves a major unanswered mystery surrounding how Shakur would respond to genuine elite power, something critics continue to question precisely because it has never been fully tested.
Well, skill-wise, he's in the mix of being better than just as good as all of them, because he sparred with all of them. So he's just as good as they are. He not most vulnerable. They may think that because of his chin. Well, we ain't really seen Shakur get hit with no big puncher on the chin flush. We ain't seen a Ryan type puncher hit Shakur. We ain't seen a Rolly type puncher hit Shakur.
Shifting the entire conversation toward a completely different rivalry, Bill Haney, who has watched Devin Haney build toward boxing's biggest stages, while Shakur Stevenson has pursued his own championship ambitions, argues that their shared pursuit makes a potential showdown increasingly meaningful. The winner could gain a major statement in the race for greatness, giving Devin a real opportunity to prove that he belongs among boxing's elite.
You know what I mean? And that's never changed. You know what I mean? Of course, outside the ring, right? We see Core, we dap him up, you know what I'm saying, and all the stuff. You know, of course, it's all business, and both of the guys quest to the Mount Rushmore of boxing because they both have a path to get there. It's not like Shakur is not going and trying to be the best, one of the best ever. Devin is trying to be one of the best ever.
Teasing a specific game plan without giving too much away, Bill insists there are plenty of tactical weapons he cannot reveal just yet. That secrecy only adds more intrigue to how he believes Devin could break down Shakur, turning the matchup into a puzzle his opponent's camp may believe has already been solved.
Listen, that's an easier fight than Lomachenko.
I don't know about that.
Well, because you don't know where all the tools in the Home Depot warehouse is that we have. It's a whole lot of tools. Hey, you know a few of them. It's a whole lot of in there, dog. And because I don't want to give away too much, right? I don't want to give away too much because it could be a possible fight next. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to say how.
Shifting away from Devin's camp and toward Tank's side of the standoff.
I mean, that's obvious, but
Jay
that would
Prince
be,
argues
that's
that the pressure has now shifted onto the other side because his own position is already secure. His double-barreled shotgun warning suggests that avoiding one possible route could simply force another confrontation, keeping the tension around the situation alive.
I mean, I feel like we're in a great position. You know what I mean? That question might have to be asked to the Haneys. You know what I mean? I got two double-barrel shotguns. You know what I mean? On both ends, and I got them blocked in, so they got to see me one way or the other.
Bringing a trainer's perspective into that same debate, Bruce Carrington, who has experienced the preparation demands behind high-level boxing and understands how heavily strategy can influence a fighter's performance, insists that success depends equally on the fighter executing the plan and the trainer preparing the right approach. When that connection breaks down, even exceptional talent can struggle to find the answers needed when the pressure is at its highest.
A lot of it falls on the trainer role, you know. I gotta say it's like 50-50 because at the end of the day, the fighter has to follow what the trainer says or what they work on. And, you know, even the fighter also has to take it, accountability of what they need to do and what they need to accomplish in training camp. But yeah, man, it's like a lot of it has to do, it's 50-50.
Is there anything he could have done? I mean, I don't think to win, but could he have done anything to make it more competitive?
Fight more on the back foot, have Shakur come to him. I mean, Shakur was coming to him. But fight more on the back foot, draw some setups with feints and counters and throw when Shakur is throwing. That's literally the only few windows that Shakur is going to give you to hit him.
Weighing in with his own read on who holds the edge, Bruce credits Shakur's defensive awareness with giving him the slightest advantage, while acknowledging that the stylistic similarities make the outcome exceptionally difficult to predict. With both fighters possessing high-level skills, one small tactical edge could ultimately be enough to decide everything.
That's a tough fight. I like both of those styles together, but I do think that Shakur is just more defensively aware, sound and aware. It's possible that Shakur may win that fight. I feel like he's a problem for a lot of guys because of his style. But Devin and both of those styles together, that's a great matchup. And I don't know. That's actually a really good fight. I genuinely don't know.
Making the boldest claim of the entire breakdown, Paulie Malignaggi, a former world champion and experienced boxing analyst, who has repeatedly evaluated the elite names of the current generation, insists that Stevenson is the best fighter in the sport. That assessment puts enormous expectations on Shakur to prove his superiority against boxing's biggest names, turning every future matchup into another opportunity to validate that status.
I think Shakur is the best fighter in the sport. I think he is. I really think he is.
Really?
I think he's the best fighter in the sport. I think, yeah, some guys have a bigger resume, so they'll be #1 pound for pound. He won't be able to top them on the pound for pound list. But if I go head to head in a sport where everybody was the same weight class, I think I would pick Shakur over everybody. I think he's that good. But as far as not being important with the belts, not caring, wanting to do what he wants.
Shifting the focus toward what a Haney-Stevenson fight would actually look like, Greg Hackett, who has watched both elite technicians develop their movement and timing throughout their careers, predicts a back-and-forth battle filled with angles, rapid adjustments, and clever positioning. Their technical similarities could turn every exchange into a miniature contest of skill.
They going at it, they're going to be going at it. It's going to kind of be like tennis. I mean, you're going to be like, back and forth. I see a lot of angles. I see a lot of spinning. They're gonna be spinning each other. Like clinches, not too crazy, but like quick clinches where they get tied up but they spin out. You know what I mean? I can see a lot of little like that going on. I seen both of them fight.
Circling back to Jay Prince for a final word on the outside noise, he argues that outside talk has little impact on his team's preparation or confidence. His focus remains on being prepared regardless of how the situation ultimately develops. For the fighters involved, this isn't simply about controlling the narrative. It's about being ready when the opportunity finally arrives.
I mean, it ain't really much to clarify, you know what I mean? This is a game where, you know, a lot of shit is talked. So, you know, we can expect, you know, a lot of that to be thrown and said, and, you know, it don't really affect us because we understand what we're dealing with. You know, come that day, time and place, you know, we will be ready.
Shifting toward the stakes of an eventual Haney-Stevenson clash, Sean Zittel believes their continued success could turn the matchup into a battle for pound supremacy and possibly undisputed status. The bigger their accomplishments are before they meet, the greater the legacy attached to the winner. He points out that fights like this only grow in significance the longer both men keep winning, because every additional title raises the ceiling on what the eventual showdown could actually mean in boxing history.
That could be a showdown for #1 pound for pound, and maybe even undisputed at 147. If Devin can get through, you know, the champions at 147 or unify 2 or 3 of the belts and get the ring and be universally recognized, essentially undisputed, whether you have all the sanctioning titles or not, that could be a showdown 18 months from now, 24 months from now for #1 pound for pound. So instead of, are we going to meet at the No, it's if and when it goes down, and it will go down, I think, one day, it needs to be at the full welterweight limit.
Building on that same stakes-driven forecast, Sean also argues that Haney must weaponize his size and increase his offensive volume to disrupt Shakur's rhythm. A passive approach could leave him trapped in a technical battle that he may struggle to win punch for punch. Shakur thrives when a fight settles into a slow, calculated pace, which means Haney's best chance could come from forcing a faster and more physical rhythm before Stevenson ever gets comfortable.
And so Devin's strong, and if Shakur wins, he gets full credit. And as for who wins that fight, Devin's gonna have to have more volume. When they sparred, Devin found success when he imposed his size and went downhill and threw more combinations. He's gonna have to make that adjustment. He did it once before against a smaller southpaw in Lomachenko. This is a different puzzle, much younger guy, harder to hit, but he's shown in that Lomachenko fight, I will impose my size a little bit. I will throw with volume. And that's what he would have to do with Shakur. If he let it just be a boxing match up the center, then Shakur is going to outbox him. He'll be too sharp for him, punch for punch.
Closing out the breakdown with a prediction about just how intense this fight could become, Greg believes the matchup could force both men into an unprecedented level of intensity. The real accelerator would be constant pressure rather than simply throwing more punches, turning the fight into a pressure test unlike anything either man has faced before. According to him, both fighters have built their careers around control and composure, meaning the one who cracks first under sustained pressure, rather than the one who simply lands the cleanest punch, could ultimately decide the entire fight.
I have seen both of them fight at a very high speed, but I think this would be the fastest for both of them that they have been. Had to been. For Devin Haney, I think the fastest though for him so far was the Lomachenko fight. As far as pace, that was a very fast pace he had to fight at. You know what I'm saying? For Shakur, it was the Zepeda fight. Zepeda made him really let his hands go and made him have to. You know what I'm saying? What makes it a fast pace is not just the punching, it's the pressure. You know what I mean? This guy's right in your chest. You know what I'm saying? So them two against each other, they know how to do that. They have experienced that. But the reason they would have to do that with each other, neither one of them want to look bad.
Belts, bragging rights, and a fight the entire sport continues to demand. Is Shakur really avoiding Tank? Or is the real blockbuster brewing somewhere else entirely? The questions are still unanswered, and the debate is only getting hotter. Drop your take in the comments and tell us who you believe should be next.